have seen The Last Jedi because I'm going to talk in-depth spoilers about this movie. I just saw this movie twice just today. So, let's talk about some spoilers. So guys, spoiler warning guys, if you have not seen Star Wars The Last Jedi, you've been warned. My advice to you is to go watch the movie and come back to this video, because I'm basically going to talk about some plot points of the movie, my positives of the movie in a spoiler-filled way, and especially my flaws in a spoiler-filled way. When I watched this movie for the first time, I really loved this movie. I gave it an A+. I still think this movie will be on my list for my best of the year. Probably my number one, maybe. But then I watched it the second time to make sure this movie can count. When I watch it again, I watched this film as a film. When I went for the first time, I went into the film as a Star Wars fanboy. So, the second time I watched it as a film itself, and this film does have some problems. That's why I didn't say any flaws in the spoiler-free review, because the problems in the film, even though I watched it the first time, the problems in this movie are spoilers. So, let's talk about them first. So guys, spoiler warning, you've been warned in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One of the flaws I'm going to tell you is Leia's death in the film. Now basically, you know in the trailer where Kylo Ren basically was on the ship, he was about to press this button and shoot her. Yeah, in the movie he didn't, but you see some other TIE fighters just shot the ship and you see Leia dead. And I'm like, it's rushed, but I think it will be a good tribute death for Carrie Fisher and Leia as well, because we see Han Solo died in The Force Awakens, and that's bad fight. It will be more interesting if he kills his mother and he kills his whole parents. But in this movie, Kylo Ren couldn't do it, because if he killed his mother, he's got to be guilty. But the other shot her, so we thought she is dead, but she's actually not dead. You see a shot of her just floating in space, looking like she's dead, but then you see her alive. She was using this force thing to get back on the ship, which is confusing to me. How does Leia have the force or something? I don't think it was the force, it was something to get her back in the ship, but to me it feels like the force to me. So how does Leia get that? We never explained that. And with Leia alive, I don't know what they're going to do with her in the third movie, because J.J. Abrams is going to direct the third one, which I'm freaking excited for that. He's saying that he doesn't want to do any motion capture work. So what are they going to do with Leia? Are they going to fake her death or something like that? Or they're going to do something with Leia, including her death, because it's the final one out of the trilogy and someone has to die in the Star Wars movies because it gets interesting. It's kind of like a bad way of saying that, but you know what I mean. We get Han Solo died, and in this movie we get Luke Skywalker maybe dead, which I'll talk about later. So why not Leia? The whole tribe has died, so it'll be a very emotional impact. But still, with Leia's death, I just think she could have just stayed dead, because they're just probably saying I know that Carrie Fisher died after this movie, so they weren't trying to make her die. I get that, but I'm just worried what they're going to do with her in the third movie. I'm just really curious what's going to happen. Maybe J.J. Abrams will do the motion capture work. Maybe he's he changed his mind after he watches The Last Jedi. I don't know. Another flaw with this movie is that Snoke. Snoke is awesome in this film, what he was. He didn't do anything though. He was basically sitting down the whole time, talking to Kylo Ren, and he was also talking to Rey, and using his force, nearly trying to kill him. And I was curious what he's going to be like from The Force Awakens, because we get to kind of see the scope of him. But in this movie, we get to see the real life him, and he's the Darth Sidious of Kylo Ren, which is awesome. Yeah, Snoke died in this film, which really disappointed me. There's a scene where Snoke was about to tell Rey to join Kylo Ren, and basically Rey refuses, so Snoke was choking her to death, and Kylo Ren was trying to save her because he thinks he's going to change sides. So he uses the Force and he switches the lightsaber, the blue lightsaber that he took from Rey. He switches the blue lightsaber on the side, not straight. He forces it in half and cuts Snoke off in half. And I'm that's a cool moment, but Snoke feels very necessary now if he died in this film. He's basically like Thanos in the end credit scenes of the Avengers movies. So that's what he's basically like. He didn't do anything, and I'm hoping Thanos does something in Infinity War. Of course he probably is going to do something. But in the Star Wars movies, what are they going to do with him? Maybe he didn't die. Maybe somehow he'll come back to life. We don't know, but Snoke's death, it feels very necessary. But it happens with a cool scene after that, which I'm going to talk about in my positives. Another thing about the flaws in this movie is that it's Rose. Now, I was interested in Rose. She was a very interesting character, and if if you don't know, at the start, her sister actually was with the Resistance, and she died from putting the bombs on one of the First Order ships, which is a pretty powerful, emotional scene where you see her in the hallway just crying because she misses her sister alive, and we get to see Finn basically trying to escape, and then we get the chemistry start. The spoiler-free review, I said that her connection with Finn is good. It's because I was fanboying. I watched this film as a film now the second time, and I just don't buy their chemistry. They're just like together, you know what I mean? So there's a scene where Finn and Rose go onto the casino planet, and I'm like thinking to myself, they're probably just running out of ideas. Like, they're just going to put that scene in to make Finn and Rose chemistry amazing. And we also see in the casino scene Benicio del Toro, which I'm shocked he's in this film because he's a great actor. He plays this hacker that they're trying to find. I really don't like him in this film at all. It's good seeing him, but what is his character? He didn't do anything. He's just trying to steal the other ships, and Finn is like really concerned about him, and he find out he was working with the First Order, and I'm like, he doesn't do anything. Speaking of that, Captain Phasma. Now in The Force Awakens, one of my flaws in The Force Awakens is Captain Phasma. She didn't do nothing. She looked awesome, but she didn't do anything. She hasn't even shot anyone. This movie I'm more excited for her to see because she looks awesome, and I can't wait to see her fight Finn. And we see her in the film, she was only in a couple of scenes. She wasn't much in the film, which is even worse. And what about the Finn and the Captain Phasma fight? Well, picture Jurassic Park 3. Remember when a T-Rex and a Spinosaurus are fighting? And everyone was excited for that? That took 45 seconds. Same as this fight between Finn and Captain Phasma. That scene was like rushed. Really freaking rushed. And it just... I was thinking to myself, really? The fight has ended? And she died? Maybe not died? We don't know. Just, you know what? Captain Phasma might be my least favorite character in the sequel trilogy. She didn't do anything. She didn't do much. She was nearly beating Finn. And I'm glad to see Finn win a fight once. But still, it's just... Captain Phasma shouldn't be in this movie. She has no point of plot hole. She just needs someone to fight someone. That's why they put Captain Phasma in this film, and I really feel bad because Captain Phasma looks awesome, but well, what they can do. They finished the film, my friends. Also, Finn's sacrifice in the film. Back to the Rose and Finn chemistry. There's a scene where Finn is about to sacrifice himself through this laser thing that's going to destroy all the Jedis and all that stuff. And he was going into that laser thing, about to sacrifice himself, and I'm like, that's going to be a great scene. It's going to be a powerful scene. Where Finn's about to go in and Finn's going to die, and I'm like, you go for it, Finn. You have your choice. And it's very hard. But then, when he was like so close to it, we get Rose like basically saving his life. And, yeah. And Rose is like, I saved your life, I don't want you to die. And she actually kissed him. Like, not on the lips, but like, I guess in the forehead. And like... Is there going to be a love triangle in this? Because Finn was basically wanting to look for Rey most of the film. He woke up in that starting scene and he was like waking up like, Rey! Like, he really wanted Rey. So is there going to be a love triangle? Is there going to be like a romantic chemistry between Finn and Rey or Finn and Rose? Like, I'm not going to be interested in that. I don't really like love triangles in films because they always tell these different plot holes between each character, and it's really annoying. Like Spider-Man 3, for example. They have lot of love triangles. And freaking hell, it's really annoying. So I don't want that. Like, at least Rose, like, stays friends with Finn, and Finn's like, no, I wanted to love Rey and all that stuff, which is kind of silly to say, but I just wanted to see Finn and Rey having a little romantic connection. Because I know it's a weird thing to say, but I think they look great together as like a romantic couple in a Star Wars film. I think it would have been handled way better. But guys, let's get out of these flaws for this movie. These are just the only flaws with the spoilers. This movie is still an A+ movie. I still freaking love this film. Would I say this film is my #1 of the year? You'll see. Maybe or maybe not. But I'm still sorting out my favorite movies of this year. I still have to see The Great Showman. I'm sure Jumanji wouldn't make it on my list. But The Great Showman, maybe. So I'm still sorting that out. But let's go with the positives of Star Wars The Last Jedi in spoiler territory. One of the scenes, remember the scene I talked about Snoke's death, which is a really necessary death? Well, after that, we get to see Rey and Kylo Ren teaming up to fight those red guards, and I'm like, that scene was phenomenal. I know I said in my spoiler-free review, I keep saying phenomenal too much. I even said, I keep saying phenomenal, and it's really, really annoying. But we see them teaming up. It was just awesome. We get to see them fighting the red guards that Snoke has. And what's really cool about it is when you see Kylo Ren's getting choked, and after Rey defeated the assassin guard, she throws Kylo Ren the lightsaber, and she was like, bang! And she throws him the lightsaber, and he just catches it, and the lightsaber thing just bang! Through that guy's head. And I'm like, that is freaking awesome. That's really awesome. Also, let's talk about Luke Skywalker's story. Now, in this film, he wasn't on the island just because he ran away. He wanted to be on that island to die. You can see he's like Star Destroyer or Starship or whatever they call it in the Star Wars movies. I feel stupid of saying that because I'm a Star Wars fan. But you see he's shipping the water, and we see him on the island. He wants to sacrifice himself. He doesn't want to be a Jedi anymore. So that makes sense when he said it's time for the Jedi at the end. He wasn't the last Jedi. Basically, Rey was. Or maybe other Jedis coming ahead. So basically, Rey is basically the last Jedi in this film. Rey didn't go into the dark side, which there are rumors for that. No, she didn't. This is a spoiler. This is a spoiler review for a reason. She didn't go to the dark side. Because Kylo Ren was convincing her to join her side. And there was a great scene after that where you see her and Kylo Ren just like forcing the blue lightsaber to each other. Like, Kylo Ren's like, no, you don't need this. And Rey's like, no, I need it back. And they break the lightsaber in half. And that impacts Luke as well, because this was his first lightsaber. Anyway, back to Luke's story. There's a really funny scene, actually, in this movie, when you see, remember at the end of The Force Awakens, which I'm surprised it didn't start from there. It starts with Poe Dameron basically destroying the Star Destroyer. We get the scene where Rey is about to give Luke the lightsaber, like at the end of The Force Awakens. We see him give him the lightsaber, and you think it's going to be an epic scene. He's going to grab the lightsaber and say, I need training. But no, he just tosses it. Just tosses it off the cliff. I was like, that is funny, but it's also really heartbroken. And like, she lied to him that she wanted to be trained to be a Jedi. And I'm like, that is really powerful. Now, remember in the trailer they said, this power hasn't scared me before, it is now. This is about him training Ben Solo, known as Kylo Ren. He actually trained Kylo Ren, which is really interesting. We get a scene with him with the green lightsaber trying to kill him because he can sense what he's going to do in the future, which is really powerful. And we get to see Kylo Ren, it's like, no, and he crashed. He's like, I guess his house or building or something like that. You get to see that, and I was like, that is a really powerful scene. And it's just an amazing backstory for Luke. And it's just, Luke was amazing in this film. Mark Hamill did a phenomenal job in this film. And we get Luke's death as well. We get a really good scene at the final act of the film where we see Luke Skywalker talking to Princess Leia again. I'm glad to see the siblings back together. We see him with short hair. We see him with a beard. And when he's about to go out there to fight Kylo Ren, we see Kylo Ren's like, fire! Shoot him! Shoot as much as you can! You see the smoke, and then after that, we thought he's dead. But no, Luke was like, is that all you got? And then like, Kylo Ren's about to go out there and fight him, and they're having a good lightsaber fight. But then we find out something weird about Luke Skywalker in that scene, where you see, in that salt planet, when you take footsteps to there are like red stuff under there. And with Kylo Ren walking, you see his footstep, but we don't see Luke's, and I'm like, something's going on, isn't it? And when Kylo Ren's about to like, kill Luke Skywalker with his lightsaber and all that stuff, we find out he wasn't the real Luke Skywalker. You can see him on the island meditating, so it's like he's programmed. And we get to see him disappear. With a great John Williams score. Remember in The New Hope? Yeah, that's that score, and we get the two suns, which that's a cool Easter egg there. And we see him disappear. So did he die, or did he kind of like, died in peace or something like that? Because we get to see Rey at the end, he said Luke died of peace or something like that. So I'm like, Luke did die, didn't he? Which is really powerful, because I think Luke deserves to die in a Star Wars movie, because he was a legend, like Obi-Wan Kenobi did in The New Hope. So, that is really interesting. Guys, overall, this is all the spoilers I'm going to be talking about. If there's something missing, don't worry, I'll still have it in my head. But guys, this is my spoiler review for Star Wars The Last Jedi. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys have seen Star Wars Last Jedi. I think it's still a phenomenal movie. The flaws there, it could have been addressed, but still, I really love Star Wars The Last Jedi. I could watch this movie all over again. I will put it on my best list, that's for sure. That's the only thing I'm going to tell you guys. I'm not going to tell you where it's going to be on my list. It might not be on my number 1. Maybe it will be on my top 5. We don't know. We'll figure it out. And this might be my last review of 2017. I'm not sure. Maybe I'll go see The Greatest Showman and then that will be my last review. But if I haven't, maybe this movie will be the last review, because I'm going to be reviewing some Christmas movies as well, because Christmas is next Monday. So guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and have a nice day, and may the Force be with you.